Hello and welcome back. My name is Mrs. Smith, and today we are going to begin the Unit 3 Lesson 11 from our third graders, but it's really long, so I'm going to probably break it up into 3 videos, okay? So, first it starts off with this letter, and this letter says simply that we are going to be showing information using different kinds of graphs. This one is called a pictograph. It uses these little pictures to represent a certain number, and then you can easily see how many of each quantity there are for different things. This is a bar graph here. It has the bars going up in this one, but the bars can also go like sideways too, and have the axes switched. And then here is a line plot. This is something I think we've done a little bit of already. Similar to the pictograph, it's important that your dots or your X's or your little symbols are all the same size and equally spaced so that it's easy to read. The whole point of any graph is you can have someone look at the visual representation of the data, and they can instantly make some statements or understand the different frequencies of different things happening. So, give this letter to your parents. It's also in Spanish if your parents read in Spanish. And we're going to talk about pictographs first. So it says, read a pictograph. A pictograph is a graph that uses pictures or symbols to represent data. The pictograph below shows the number of votes for favorite ice cream flavor. The key tells you that each ice cream cone symbol stands for 4 students, or the way 4 students voted. This is really important, okay? Because then you're going to multiply all these amounts by 4. You'll notice here that there's a half of an ice cream cone. Now to figure out how many kids that is, you have to think, okay, what's half of 4? 2. So this half cone is going to represent 2 kids instead of 4 kids, okay? So it says how many, well, we're using the pictograph to answer the questions. How many votes were there for chocolate? We look at chocolate and we're going to either count by 4 or count them and then multiply by 4. I'm going to count and multiply by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 4 equals 20. 20 students. Or I guess I'll say votes. You always want to include your label. How many people in all voted for their favorite ice cream flavor? Well, then here we have 1, 2, 3. 3 times 4. And then 1.5. So 1.5, this is going to be 6. This one is going to be 12. And then we add that all up. So 12 plus 6 is 18. Plus 20, 38 people. And you'll notice it's easy to find the label because it's usually the word after the phrase how many. How many votes were there for cherry vanilla? We already figured that out. It's 12 votes. How many people did not vote for chocolate? How do you find that out? We look at the votes that aren't for chocolate. So that'll be 6 and 12. So that's 18 people. Now these ones are comparison style. So how many fewer votes were there for peanut butter crunch than chocolate? So we're going to bring back what we do for comparisons, do a comparison bar, right? So you see here we have peanut butter crunch, that amount was 6, and it's the lower one, so peanut butter crunch, and then chocolate was 20. How do we find that difference? We subtract, so 20 minus 6, that's going to be 14. So 14 fewer votes. Okay. And then the next one here, how many more people voted for chocolate than for peanut butter crunch and cherry vanilla combined? So here it's like a 2-step comparison. But once again, we're going to draw comparison bars. So we're comparing not just to peanut butter crunch like in this one, but those 2 combined. So I'm going to add those up. 6 and 12 together is 18. Chocolate had 20. combined. So the difference, we're going to subtract 20, take away 18, and that's going to be 2. 2 more people. People. Pretty cool, right? Okay. Now we're going to take information from a table and represent it in our own pictograph. And we're going to practice making a pictograph. So there's some important things we want to have. We want to have a title, Kanye CDs. And if you don't know, a CD is it's a circular disc. I think that's where the name comes from. And you would have music on it in the past. People might still do it, but nowadays we use the streaming services. But it's pretty cool. Okay, so here we're gonna list the types. So we have jazz, rap, and classical. And I recommend simply copying the spelling from the table right here, okay? And then here, we're gonna represent the CDs with a small picture. And because it's like a CD looks like this, we're going to just draw little CDs like that for fun. So I'm gonna say each circle stands for, and now here we're going to have to think about a number that we can have the CDs represent that will go nicely with all these amounts. You could do 1, but I don't really want to draw 16 CDs. Let's do, oh, you know what? I'm noticing all of these are multiples of 4. 4 is a factor for all of these. So this would be 4 times 1, 4 times 4, and 4 times 3. Let's do that. So each CD stands for 4 CDs. So that means for jazz, I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3 to represent 4, 8, 12. Put the little mini circle on the inside. It kind of looks like a donut, doesn't it? And I tried my best to make them the same size as one another and equally spaced. For rap, 1 or 4, 8, 12, 16. And I tried to place them evenly with these ones, so that would be sort of matching, and then it has this one extra CD. And then for classical, just 1 to represent those 4 CDs. Look at that. Now you've made your own little pictograph. How nice. How many CDs does he have in all? How many more rap CDs does Kanye have than classical? Fewer jazz CDs does he have than rap? And how many pictures would you draw to show that he had 9 country and western CDs? I want you to try these on your own. Pause and try them, and then I'm going to go over them, okay? All right, so now you're ready, right? So I'm going to figure out the total, I'm going to add all these up. So 16 and 4 is 20, plus 12 more, so 32 CDs. How many more rap CDs does he have than classical? Hopefully you did a comparison bar. So if he has 16 rap and 4 classical, to find that difference, we do 16 minus 4, and that's going to get us 12. 12 more rap CDs. How many fewer jazz CDs does Kanye have than rap? So then rap is the bigger bar, jazz is the little bar. He has 16 rap. He has 12 jazz. That difference is going to be 4. 16 minus 12 is 4, so 4 fewer jazz CDs. And then how many pictures would you draw to show that Kanye had 9 country and western CDs? So if each one was 4, like we did here, if I did 1 CD, that's 4. 2 CDs, that's 8. And then a third one, I'm going to do a quarter of it to just represent 1. Okay? So that would be 2 and 1/4 pictures. All right. So That's it for pictographs today. Join me next time when we talk about bar graphs. Bye-bye, everybody.